everyone. This is a quick beginner Pilates class that is focused on breath work and deep core. Now, before we get to it, if you just found this video through search, a heads up that it is part of a Intro to Pilates series. I have a welcome video that comes before this, as well as a whole lesson on diaphragmatic breathing. So if you're interested in that, I would start from the beginning, and I've linked the beginning of the series down below in the video description. If you don't care about the series though, and you're just looking for a beginner Pilates class, focus on some breath work and some deep core, then that works too, and we can get right to class. You're not going to need any equipment, except I do want you to have a small pillow on hand, okay? So I just grab this off the couch. If you don't have a small pillow on hand, you could use a towel and just roll it into a cylinder. We're just going to want something to hug and then squeeze between our legs a couple times throughout this class. We won't use it right away though, unless you find it more comfortable to sit on a pillow than be in a cross-legged position down on the mat. But we're going to start class by opening up and mobilizing through the rib cage a little bit so that we can get that good rib cage expansion when we come into diaphragmatic breathing. So I want you to start cross-legged. You're going to tent your fingertips, one to either side, and then let's take our right arm and reach it up and side bend over to the left. So we're really open through this right side of the body. Staying within this side bend, we're going to rotate. On an exhale, I want you to exhale out through the mouth, and I want you to rotate your chest towards the floor. And then I want you to inhale in through the nose, and I want you to rotate up towards the ceiling a little bit. Exhale, rotate down. That rotate is coming from the mid-spine. Inhale. As you inhale, think of expanding the rib cage. As you exhale, think ribs move in, down, and across. One more time. Big inhale. Come through the side bend, and we're going to take it up and over to the other side. So now your left arm reaches up, grow tall. We're going to side bend over to the right, so we're really open through this left side of the body. Exhale, rotate through that mid-spine. Inhale, rotate up. Exhale out through the mouth, ribs move down and in. Inhale through the nose, rib cage expands. Let's do one more. Come through the side bend, sit up tall, and now that we've sort of gotten moving through the mid-spine and the rib cage a little bit, you can rest your hand one on either knee. We're sitting upright tall, again, option to sit on the pillow, and we're just going to focus on some diaphragmatic breathing. So we're going to inhale through the nose, and as we slowly inhale through the nose, I want you to think of expanding your rib cage. The exhale is slowly out through the mouth. It's audible. It's like you're blowing out a birthday candle. And as you exhale, the ribs move in and down, and you feel a gentle brace of the abdominal wall. Keep going like that. In through the nose, pelvic floor relaxes, expand through the rib cage. And out through the mouth, a little lift of the pelvic floor. Gentle, gentle brace of the abdominal wall. Now on the inhale, I want you to make sure that you're not scrunching your shoulders up towards your ears so the inhale isn't getting caught up here. You're thinking rib cage expands out laterally and front to back. We're relaxed through the shoulders. It's also not all belly breathing, so we're really thinking of the expansion is coming from the rib cage. It's an endurance breath, so it's slow in, rib cage expands. Slow out, ribs move gently in and down, brace of that abdominal wall, lift of the pelvic floor. 2 more breaths like this. And now that we've established what that diaphragmatic breathing looks like, we're going to carry that throughout class, tying it in with some movement connecting to the deep core. So I want you to grab your pillow from here, and we're going to uncross our legs, and you're going to bring the heels in front of you. I'm going to turn to face this side. And I want you to put the pillow between your lower belly and your thighs, okay? Now to start, we're just going to start moving with the breath. As you exhale, we'll start with an inhale. Inhale, sitting up tall. And then as you slowly exhale, I want you to nod through the chin, and I want you to start to roll forward over that pillow. And then as you inhale, I want you to stack the spine back up tall. Let me move my mic so it's not totally muffled by the pillow. Exhale, roll forward, and I really want it against your belly, so you might need to roll that pillow up a little bit. And inhale, stack the spine up tall. Now the next time you roll it forward, we're going to stay in that rounded forward position. So you exhale, nod the chin, vertebrae by vertebrae. We round over the pillow, and then we're just going to breathe here. Inhale, focus on that back rib expansion. Exhale out, feel the engagement of the abdominal wall. Now I'm having you do this, continue to breathe as I talk. I'm having you do this rolled forward over a pillow so that we have some pressure on our belly, so that as we inhale, it's not just going out forward. We're not just expanding forward into the belly. This can help us in this rounded position feel the expansion through our back body. So inhale, expand into the back body, feel the back of your rib cage expand. Exhale slowly out through the mouth, ribs move in and down, feel the engagement of the abdominal wall. 2 more breaths like this. And on your next inhale, I want you to stack the spine up tall, and you can place the pillow off to the side. We are going to roll down to the mat onto our back now. I want you to keep the knees bent with the feet flat on the floor. And before we get into this next section, let's make sure that we are neutral through the pelvis. So you don't have a big arch of your spine up towards the back. You do have that natural curve to the spine. If it feels more supportive for you and helps you connect to your core, you could also lengthen your lower back or gently flatten it to the mat, okay? So either neutral or this slight lengthened position. Now from here, I want you to take your left heel and I want you to lift it off the mat. You're gonna keep your right foot fully planted down. So we're just gonna lift and lower this leg, moving with our breath. We're gonna inhale to prepare. Exhale slowly out through the mouth. I want you to start with the breath. Feel the engagement of the abdominal wall. Once you feel the abdominal wall engage, you're going to lift that left knee up to tabletop. And then as you inhale, you're just going to lower that foot back down to the mat. Stay on the same side. Exhale, breath first. Feel the brace of the abdominal wall, then move the leg. Inhale, return it down to the mat. And it's just the ball of the foot going to the mat. So I want you to continue to move with your breath, staying on this side. So it is slow. Twice more. And this next time you lift that leg up to tabletop, you're going to hold it at tabletop. Now I want you to flex through the foot. And now on an exhale, we're going to press this leg straight out to a hover. Keep your right foot planted down, arms down by your side. So exhale, feel the engagement of the abdominal wall. Press that leg forward straight at a hover. Inhale, bring it back to tabletop. Keep moving, same side. So as that leg moves away and out to a hover, you shouldn't notice doming through the abdomen. You should feel that brace, almost a widening, a flattening sensation, and the leg goes out. Again, think breath first, movement second. Initiate that exhale, feel the abdominal engagement, send that leg out. Twice more this side. So we're starting slow here, really establishing that connection. Final time, press it out. Bring it into tabletop. Lower that left foot down to the mat. Same thing, other side. So left foot is going to stay planted firmly. Lift your right heel up to a hover so just the ball of the right foot is on the mat. We inhale to prepare. On your exhale, ribs move in and down. We feel the engagement of the abdominal wall. You lift that leg up to tabletop. Now I want you to take 2 fingers on each hand and I want you to put it just inside your hip bones. On the exhale, you should feel a little contraction, okay? That means we are getting that lower abdominal wall to fire successfully before we lift the leg. So if you're having trouble feeling the connection, try that. 2 fingers inside of the hip bone. See if you can feel just that subtle, that gentle contraction under your fingers as you exhale and engage the abdominal wall. If you got it, arms down by your side. Twice more. So there's no rocking of the pelvis as we do this. Stabilizing. So hold that leg at tabletop now. Flex through the ankle. So now on our exhale, you're going to press this leg straight out at a hover. And as you inhale, you're going to bring it back to tabletop. Moving with our breath, so it is slow and purposeful. The whole purpose of this class is connecting movement to breath. So we're going slow, establishing that connection with diaphragmatic breath work and deep core activation. Twice more. Now you're going to bring that knee into tabletop, and we're going to dial up the intensity a little bit. So keeping your right leg at tabletop, I want you to take the left heel and lift it off of the ground. We are going to switch which ball of the foot is down and which is at tabletop, and we're going to move on the exhale. So I want you to inhale to prepare. Exhale, feel that gentle brace switch. So now my left leg is at tabletop, ball, the right foot is down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, switch. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, switch. Now notice this is tough because for a little bit, both feet are off the ground. If it is too much, you can dial down the intensity by just alternating. So one foot would drop, then the next would lift. It would drop, then the next would lift, okay? Otherwise, on the exhale, we switch. Notice, are you coming out of neutral with the spine and the pelvis as you switch your feet? Is there rocking and rolling through the pelvis? We don't want that. So you want to think, initiate the exhale, feel the brace, get that stability, then the legs switch. Twice more. And now I want you to pause. So we have the right leg at tabletop. We're going to bring the left up to meet it. On an exhale, feel that brace. Lift the left up to meet the right. So legs are together, both are at tabletop. I want you to flex through the feet. So we're going to start very slow with the breath, alternating one leg pressing out, coming back in, then the other. So to make this harder, your knees would be right over the hips. To make it a little more supportive, I want you to pull the knees in a little bit so they're closer to being over your lower abdomen or even belly button. So we inhale to prepare. As you exhale, I want you to press the right leg out straight. Inhale, bring it back into tabletop. Exhale, left leg goes out straight. And keep moving like that with your breath. So the lower your leg extends out to a hover, the harder this will be. If you need to make it a little easier, you just kick that leg up towards the ceiling instead of out parallel to the floor, okay? If this is too much with both feet off the mat, I want you to return to what we did in the first set where we kept one foot down and you just press the leg out and in. You would do a couple on one side and a couple to the other side. Again, feel the brace of the abdominal wall before you extend out. Now, we are going to make this a little harder, switching on the exhale, holding with a leg extended on the inhale. But if it proves to be too much, I want you to come back to what we're doing right now, okay? So from tabletop, next time you press that right leg out, I want you to stay for an inhale. On your exhale, switch. Right knee comes in, left leg goes out. Stay for an inhale. Exhale, switch. Stay for an inhale. Exhale, switch. Keep moving like that. Now I want you to notice as your lower back starting to peel off of the mat. We don't want that. You can pull the bent knee in a little closer over your chest to make it more modified, and the straight leg can always go up towards the ceiling higher. Okay, just 4 more. Exhale, switch, stay for an inhale. Exhale, switch, stay for an inhale. Last time, stay for an inhale. Exhale, switch, bring both knees in. You can hug them into your chest and give yourself a little rock side to side. All right, now from here, we're gonna play around with how the breath pattern can change how an exercise feels. So I want you to plant your feet on the ground, and let's grab our pillow or our towel, whatever you're using, and put it between our thighs, okay? Sometimes it can help us connect to the deep core if we get inner thigh engagement, so squeezing something between the legs can be helpful. So I want your heels about under the knees, don't walk them in too close to your bum. We're gonna do some hip lifts coming into a bridge, and we're gonna play around with our breath pattern, and I want you to notice how changing the pattern can change the difficulty of the exercise. So to start, it's gonna be a slow 4-breath pattern, and we're gonna move on the exhale, hold for the inhale. So we're starting neutral through the spine. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, you're pro at it by now. Ribs move in and down, brace to the abdominal wall. Once you feel that brace, you press your feet into the ground, squeeze in on the pillow, fire through the glutes, lift your hips up. Stay for an inhale at the top. Exhale, feel the connection, then lower the hips down. So keep moving like that. You stay for an inhale, and you move on the exhale. So I want you to keep moving like that with the breath. And as you do, I'm just going to talk a little bit. So a good rule of thumb, although it doesn't always apply, but especially when you're first starting out, you want to think exhale on the hard part of the exercise, okay? And that's because exhaling gives us that abdominal connection, that instant engagement through our core, and it just helps us stabilize. It's a little harder to stabilize on the inhale when things want to expand. So I want you to notice here as you're lifting and lowering your hips, is there any wobbling side to side or shifting, or are you able to stay pretty smooth and level throughout the range of motion? Just sort of take inventory on how this feels now so that you can compare it to how it feels when we switch the breath pattern. So right now we're doing what would be called a 4-part breath pattern. We're going to change it to a 2-part breath pattern coming up. So it'll be up on the exhale, down on the inhale. We'll take out those breaks. But give me one more full time through, moving as we are. Moving on the exhale, pausing on the inhale. So next time your hips are down, inhale to prepare, and let's switch to that 2-breath pattern. We exhale, press the feet into the ground, lift the hips, and as you inhale, you lower them down. We exhale to lift, and we inhale to lower. So I want you to notice, especially on the way down, when we're moving on the inhale, do you still feel pretty stable? Hopefully you do, but you might notice a little more rocking, maybe just a little more instability. We'll do this a couple more times throughout class as we move into different positions where we will play around with one breath pattern, and then we'll do the same exercise using a different breath pattern, and we'll just observe if there are any differences. Twice more. Last time, we lift, lower down. So you can remove the pillow, put it off to the side. I want you to roll to one side of your body, and then we're going to press it up. We're going to come to a tabletop position now. We're going to do a little bit of bird dog work. Again, this whole class really just focusing on diaphragmatic breath and connecting it to some movements, really feeling the deep core fire. So I want us to come to a tabletop, spread out through the hands. Hands are going to be under shoulders, knees are going to be under hips. So we're going to start really basic, and then we'll gradually make it a little more challenging. So on the inhale, we're going to prepare. On the exhale, all we're going to do is lift our right hand off of the mat, okay? So neutral through the spine, length through the back of the neck. Don't let your head hang heavy. Inhale to prepare. Exhale slowly out through the mouth. Ribs moved in and down. Feel the brace of the abdominal wall. Once you feel that brace, we just lift that right hand away. So kind of pulling the hand in towards our armpit. And then we're just going to lower it back down on the inhale. We exhale. Lift, inhale, replace. Keep moving like that. Now, as you go, I want you to notice if you're having the tendency to shift back. Really keep the left shoulder right over that left hand. Our left arm is straight, but we are not locked out through the elbow, so there's just a little invisible softness. And we don't want to shift over to the left as we remove the right hand. So make sure that everything is staying still and stable. Only thing that's changing is that right hand removes away on the exhale. Returns on the inhale. Twice more. And now let's just switch over to the other hand, okay? So right is going to stay planted down. Make any adjustments back to neutral if you need to, if anything has shifted. As you exhale, feel the brace of the abdominal wall, little lift of the pelvic floor. The left hand pulls away in towards your armpit. Inhale, return it to the mat. If you are someone who tends to shift back doing bird dog work, a little tip, if you do this with your head against a wall lightly, it's a good cue to stay in position, and you just make sure that you're not moving away and you keep the head lightly touching the wall the whole time. 3 more times here. Last time. Both hands down. Now we're going to switch to legs. Do I need to scoot forward? No, I have space. So we're going to switch to legs. So now on the exhale, your right leg is going to kick straight back at a hover. So we inhale to prepare. Exhale, feel the abdominal brace. Once you feel that brace, you're going to extend that leg straight back, firing into your right side glutes. And then as you inhale, you're going to return the leg back down to tabletop. Exhale. Now, when the leg versus pulling the hand away moves, you may find that you're more tempted to lean over to that left side when the right leg moves away. I don't want that to happen. So we're stabilizing through this left hip, and we're trying to keep the left hip right over that left knee. So it might be helpful to think of putting a little extra weight in your right hand as that right leg lifts off the ground. Move slowly through this. Take your time. Moving with breath is the most important piece of this. So if that means you're going at a different pace than I am, absolutely fine. Twice more. And now we're going to switch it over to the left leg, okay? So reposition yourself if needed. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, feel the brace of the abdominal wall. Left leg extends back. Now, when it extends back straight, we're not arching into the lower back, okay? We're keeping that abdominal engagement. Instead, we're squeezing through the glutes to get that leg lift. Inhale, return it down. Now, I want you to notice, are you shifting into the right side? So to show you facing, if you shift, your hip, that hip kind of pops out, and we don't want that. So we want to think of keeping the right hip right over that right knee. So maybe just a little extra weight in that left hand as you go through this. You have twice more. Return to the knee to the mat. I want you to sit your bum back to your heels, and let's just do a little quick wrist break so you can roll them out. So we're going to dial up the intensity, but if it's too much, I want you to stick with just the leg. Otherwise, we're going to do opposite hand and opposite leg. So the hand will pull away up towards your armpit as the opposite leg straightens out, okay? You're going to notice, do you have the tendency to shift side to side? Are you able to feel that connection to your core? Take notes. It doesn't have to be perfect right now, but it's good to notice what's happening so you know where you need to work. First, we are going to start with the slow breath pattern. So we move on the exhale, hold for an inhale, move on the exhale, hold for the inhale. Then we'll switch it up, okay? So spread out through the fingertips, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. On your first exhale, right hand will pull away as the left leg goes straight. So we inhale to prepare. Exhale. Feel the abdominal engagement. Right hand pulls away, left leg straightens out. Stay for an inhale. Move on the exhale. Hand and knee return to the mat. Stay for an inhale, and we're going to do the same thing other side. On your next exhale, left hand pulls away, right leg straightens out. Stay for an inhale. Exhale, return to the mat. Continue to go like this, alternating sides. We're going to do once more to either side using this breath pattern, and then we will switch it up, speed it up a little bit. Pause when you're at tabletop. All right, so now it's on the exhale. We're going to remove the hand, extend the leg, and on the inhale, return to the mat. So we're going to make it a little quicker. You're still alternating side to side, okay? So let's do it. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, ribs move in and down. Brace of the abdominal wall. Hand pulls away, leg straightens out. As you inhale, return hand to knee to the mat. As you exhale, take it to the other side. So I want you to keep moving like that, and things I want you to notice. Is there more rocking side to side or little shifts and little signs of instability when you do this breath pattern versus the previous one, or are they about the same? Do you find that you feel more stable on your exhale, lifting up, versus the inhale, lowering down? Or again, are you feeling pretty stable either way? There's no right or wrong answer. It's just about noticing things so that you kind of have a direction where you need to work. And if things do feel really unstable now that we've switched to this quicker breath pattern, then I want you to return back to that slow 4-part breath that we started with. Remember, if we do the hard part, whatever the hard part for us is, on the exhale, that is going to help us stabilize. One more to either side like this. And then from there, I want you to sit your bum back to your heels. You can roll out the wrists. So we just have one more little centering part of class, and then we are done, okay? So let's grab our pillow to finish up. We're going to put it between our legs. We are going to come back on our wrists, but this is just a very quick finisher, okay? We're going to do some bear plank lifts. This pillow is a little big, but I can make it work, okay? So really put it up high between your thighs because you want your knees to be down on the mat. So we're going to find tabletop. This time, though, we're going to tuck our toes under. Our legs are together. We're squeezing in on the pillow, so we're getting that inner thigh engagement, which can help connect us to our pelvic floor and deep core. So with the toes tucked under, we're going to start with a slow breath pattern, and then we'll turn it to a 2 count. All we're going to do is lift our knees to a hover into a bear plank position and then lower them back to the mat. So to start, we inhale to prepare. Exhale, feel the brace of the abdominal wall, then lift your knees to a 2-inch hover. Stay for an inhale. Exhale to lower. Stay for an inhale. So keep moving like that. You lift on the exhale, hold for an inhale, lower on the exhale. So while this 4-part movement pattern provides us stability while we move, there is the added challenge of we got to hold in that bear plank for an inhale. So on this one, it's not that necessarily one is harder than the other, one breath pattern is harder than the other. It's just that they are different. Hopefully it drives home the point that breath work really does affect our workout and our muscle engagement and how exercises affect us. So we're going to do one more like this. And next time you lower your knees down, pause. We're going to switch to a 2-count breath pattern, up on the exhale, down on the inhale. So we inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower the knees to the mat. Next time you lift up, I just want you to hold. So we're holding our knees at a hover. You're breathing in and out. I'm not going to keep you here for long. Give me 2 more breaths. One more. And lower your knees to the mat. You can remove the pillow. And let's roll out those wrists, bum back to your heels. Trace little circles. Awesome work. And when you're ready, you can switch direction of those circles. We're going to finish class with a stretch similar to how we warmed up. So kneeling, or if it's more comfortable, you can come to cross-legged. I want you to tense your fingertips to either side. We're going to take that right arm. We're going to sweep it up and over. On an exhale, you're going to rotate chest to the floor. And then I want you to reach this arm forward, 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 and down towards the mat. And just hold here and breathe. Well, let's untwist, come through center, and take it up and over to the other side. Grow tall, come to the side bend. Rotate chest towards the floor. Reach through the arm and lower it down to the mat and breathe into that mid-back area. So hopefully this class kind of put into practice the things we talked about in the previous lesson if you're following along with this Intro to Pilates series. Let's untwist, bring it up through center. Let's take one breath to finish. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, let it go. Awesome job today. So I know dialing in on the breath work like this and the deep core work, sometimes it can feel tedious. It's slow. It can feel repetitive, but it's so important, especially if you're just starting out, really vital to get down pat these foundational movements, linking that movement to your breath before we add on and we get a little funky and we pick up the pace and all of that. So I hope you found this class beneficial. And I'll see you guys next time.